This is Vikram this side.
Hi, Vikram. Okay,
Hi. So for me, what strikes is the honesty of the cultural honesty
that's true.
that I see. In our mythology, heroes are heroes. I mean, the cardboard heroes. There is no mistakes, or even if there are mistakes, they are not really you know. Uh, highlighted or made into a central axis of their heroship. And in these let's say Gilgamesh ka story and the cultures that these stories came from, for me, it's the maturity of these cultures. It's
Mm.
not a juvenile culture where it's black and white. This imagine the sophistry of thought
Yeah.
in such ancient times, and let's not compare it, but then for me, I mean, it makes me very kind of Mahabharata and all are great comparisons, but otherwise, the individual stories of
Mm.
our gods is very kiddish. I would say these guys are just superheroes, perfect. So while
You're completely
we
right.
look at perfection, these societies were looking at incorporating their strengths and weaknesses into their gods. I mean, there is a lot to think
Yeah.
about it, but it's very interesting how different societies, kind of tell stories for about each other. And these stories, I personally believe, are a reflection of and justification of social transactions that are happening at any given time. So whatever is the prevalent practices, they turn into these stories and mythologies where
Mm.
societies are justifying it to themselves,
Yeah.
their own actions. And in that light, I mean, we fall short. I mean, I think our mythology falls short. uh, yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, Vikram, I think you raised a very interesting point. To be honest, to say a certain mythology falls short, I think where the falling short is happening is that some of the nuances that were there in other mythologies have not trickled down as much. I mean, this mythology, the Mesopotamian mythology, was lost and it was refounded again. The tablets were found in like few centuries back again, and people were startled by a flood myth that predated the Noah flood myth and all. Compared to one thing that's different about the Indian mythologies or Puranic mythologies, I want to call it, because there are other mythologies apart from the Purans and all in India. But the thing is that Indian mythologies have always been this thing. At no point in time the Puranic traditions and all just completely got taken away and all. So the fortunate factor we have is that our stories have got a lot of chance to evolve. Even the Mahabharata and all, there's no one, even if the Mahabharata was written first time, there is a lot of compilation and like additions that have come through. So what ends up happening is that by the 5th century, when the Gupta period and all, they raised the importance of these Ramayana, Mahabharata and all. So automatically there was a cultural importance to our mythology, and it stayed with us. Compared to some of these earlier mythologies, Norse mythology and all, they got lost by with the civilization. So it's what really fascinates me is that as you mentioned, the level of maturity that is there even before in 2000 BCE sort of a thing. And despite being lost, we don't know exactly how did they worship him or did they not worship Gilgamesh, or what did they do with it. How were these stories fun stories, or were these stories life lessons? They feel like life lessons to me, but how did the people take it, right? We don't know. So it's almost like we've got like this thing. The way I think about mythology of a lost civilization is, imagine you getting a half broken Wikipedia page of a movie with like some things completely erased off, and you trying to reconstruct how the movie would have how would you explain the movie. It's not the same. You would never know. You would not even know how the people look like and all sort of a thing. It's just that feeling, like and what we are doing is basically reading the Wikipedia synthesis of something, hoping that we understand them better. So yeah.